whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Want TV.
I'm your host Jason, aka JCJ.
And I'm your host Gabby, aka Gabs.
And today we have a different segment than what we usually do. We like to call it Red Table Talk.
Ooh, now that sounds interesting. Let's check it out.
Hi Warriors, welcome to Franklin Desktop. I'm your host Morgan with
Hamani.
And today we'll be talking about the trending topics of 2020. So the first thing, I guess we can both agree in saying 2020 has been a crazy year.
Yeah.
COVID and everything. So what are your thoughts on COVID and us staying home and doing remote learning?
So honestly, this is I think an unpopular opinion. I know it sucks to stay home. It's also my senior year. I wanted a homecoming. I wanted prom and graduation. But honestly, I live with my grandparents, my parents. I have a big family. And a lot of people are over the age of 70. And the fact is that this disease killed thousands of people and hundreds of thousands of people. And it's only going to get worse. And I know it sucks for right now. But what we should do is learn to appreciate the time we have right now. Take quarantine seriously. If you know anyone who has corona, or you've been closely infected, just quarantine yourself, do the responsible thing, and keep you and your family as well as your friends safe. Right now, going back may seem like a good idea, but honestly, stay home, do the best you can, maybe make the best of it, right? Maybe you're home half a day, find a way to create a new project or a new hobby, but do the best you can at staying home and really trying to contain the virus. I know we're all sick of it, but honestly, the pandemic isn't over yet, and we should stop treating it like it is.
All right, so next question, Election Day. Election. A very crazy one to remember election day, and I think I agree. How do you believe the government and everything is handling, how they handled it? Do you think they did a good job with everything? You have to remember too, certain people did not have access to the ballots, voting ballots, because of circumstances. So what are your thoughts on everything of the election?
So I think with the way the election ran this year, it was really hard to plan things out and to really execute elections was honestly job well done to the government. I know we don't say this often, but they did pull it off. But I think something to consider is the fact that voting is the basic American principle, right? It's the foundation of our democracy comes down to the people making a choice. And the fact that we didn't try to increase voter turnout has been at an all-time high this year, right? But it's not because we're given more access, because people are outraged at the government. Because people have seen the government, a lack of inaction they've taken, and they're mad now. But the reality is people should be able to vote because they want their voices heard. I think something the government needs to take into consideration is how hard it is to vote. Because I know in my town specifically, the voting box is about 20 minutes away. But I have cousins in Nebraska and Kansas whose voting stations were an hour and a half away, and they drove those 50 miles. But the reality is not everyone can take a day off work, and not everyone can miss school to go to drive and vote. And that reality is turning down people away from voting. They're like, oh, it's just one vote, it's not going to matter. When the reality is we have to push the agenda that every vote counts. If you want to make a change, if you want to see the way the government works by your interest or can change, it's based on your own voice. And I feel like the government should be focused on making sure everyone has equal access.
Exactly. And I honestly agree with you too. So I think that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining our show and speaking your voice. I think that's very important for everybody to speak their voice. I think you showed a lot today. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, Warriors, for coming to listen. Blue and Gold Table Talk, where opinions are stated. Speak your mind, because that's why it was created. Thank you, Warriors, and I hope you guys have a great day. Okay.
Wow, that's some serious stuff. But I like how they're talking about real things that our generation should know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, when they were talking about how important voting is and having a voice in society.
I can definitely agree with that. Speaking of which, I don't believe they met the rest of their cast this year.
Oh yeah, they didn't. Roll it.
Hey Franklin, it's your girl Amari, aka Cash Money Martin.
Hey guys, my name is Kiana, aka Pretty Kai. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Mark. Hi, my name is Gabrielle, aka Gabby. I represent the class of 2021.
What I learned about myself during quarantine is that I'm super lazy.
My dream job is to be a sports anchor for ESPN, and one of its offices is located in New York City, so that would be very convenient.
One of my favorite things to do is to watch Netflix.
If I could live anywhere in the world, I would probably live in the Bahamas because the view is amazing, like the blue water, everything is just like calm.
Honestly, I don't think this will be the last time you'll be seeing us.
Yeah, I can agree with that because there's more of us that y'all don't know. So I'd say keep your eyes out.
I'm sad I have to say this, but I think it's the end of this episode.
We reached that already?
Yeah, we did. But don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow us on our Instagram at want.tv.
Well, tune in next week for another episode of Want TV.
I was your host, Jason, aka JCJ.
And I was your host, Gabby, aka Gabs.
And we'll see you on Franklin Zoom.